What's up, everybody? It's your boy Stephen J, and I'm sick, not feeling good, but I'm here with Simply Steve, Juh and Shaw, and we're talking about wrestling, WWE, WWF, WCW, TNA, AWA, and we're gonna get right into it. Talking about Monday Night Raw last night. Money in the Bank has been finalized. We have Bray Wyatt, John Cena, Alberto Del Rio, Randy Orton, Roman Reigns, who else? Cesaro and Sheamus. So they're all going for a chance at the world title, and it was announced tonight that, and I had just said this yesterday, that they need to have the traditional Money in the Bank for the person who wins to actually get a title shot. And I don't know who's going to win that, but whoever wins it might just become the world championship in the same night, depending on who wins the title. At least that's what I would be looking for, because if you think about it, you got all the top guys and up and coming in this match, and if the traditional Money in the Bank is going to go first, which I'm probably sure that it is, then whoever wins, let's just say Seth Rollins is in the original one for a chance to fight for the title. If I'm Seth Rollins, I'm watching the match, which is going to be the main event, to see who wins the title. And whoever wins that title is going to be battered, beaten, and bruised, and it's not going to be up to the battle. So I'm cashing in my Money in the Bank that same night.
Kane has done that before as well. The night he won Money in the Bank, cashed it in the same night.
So cash it in that same night, and you're going to win the title. That's what I would do. So let's get right into it. No Daniel Bryan, he's still hurt. So what did Raw start off with? Triple H and Stephanie, or whatever. They had all the wrestlers out. Again, they're really trying to get airtime or whatever. So who was the first match?
I'm trying to find it. Things are not cooperating with me right now. Oh wait, the first match was Dolph Ziggler and Seth Rollins.
Dolph Ziggler and Seth Rollins, which was a rematch from Friday Night SmackDown. It was, well, first of all, overall, I gave Raw a B-. It was alright. It wasn't really anything, you know, it's kind of like Game of Thrones, the season finale. You're expecting something big with 2 weeks to go for the pay-per-view, and, you know, it's just like you're waiting, anticipating something's going to happen. Something's just going to go off to say, oh, it's going to make you look like that black dude from WrestleMania. But nothing happened. So, I gave it a B-.
I gave it a C- close to a B. It was okay. There were a lot of there was a repeat match of Seth Rollins and Dolph Ziggler, which are facing off for the third time, because after they faced on Friday Night SmackDown, then they faced on Main Event, and then they faced last night. So that's like their third time fighting each other. But they do have great chemistry with each other, back and forth, kicking out of each other's moves and everything like that. Anyway,
the other shock of the night. Well, I'm going to give it a shot. I told y'all last week, Cody Rhodes said that, you know, he was going to have a partner for his brother. And I said the guy's going to be Grey Dust or Black Dust. It wasn't Grey Dust, it wasn't Black Dust, but apparently it was Stardust. What the heck? If you looked at Twitter, not too many people was happy with Stardust, although it was technically trending worldwide, and it was. But just to see, I put it like this: Cody Rhodes is not a top contender.
I think he's a top, but he'd be a top mid card.
He's a top mid card, but he's also a guy that's going to give you some great matches. He's had some great matches, but to see him reduce to Stardust and all that stuff, oh my God, I felt bad for Cody Rhodes that this is what he's reduced to. And
I was like, oh my gosh. After everything this guy has done, Stardust. Oh,
it was just, I was shocked. Because, I mean, they went up against Ryback, so when they beat Ryback, so the notion was, oh, they caught Ryback so off guard. They wasn't sure how to go against this team. It's still Cody Rhodes and Goldust. What did they do? Cody Rhodes did something like he was sweet, acting like he was sweet, and all the little movement and stuff like that.
trying to act like his brother.
All that, it was just, matter of fact, he looked like a gay Robin from Batman and Robin. That's what he looked like. And I did not like Stardust at all. I did not. Matter of fact, he looked like another version of the Hurricane. That's what he looked like. The Hurricane. Look up the Hurricane, and those that don't know. So he looks like the Hurricane. But the other big news was the WWE released a whole bunch of wrestlers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They released Brodus Clay.
Let's talk about
Drew McIntyre. Jinder Mahal.
Well, let's just talk about who they released. They released a whole bunch of guys. They released Jinder Mahal. Let's talk about Jinder. Jinder Mahal, he came in and he was feuding with the Great Khali. Supposed to be his brother or whatever. I actually like him, and I thought he had a feud with Triple H at one point. I could be wrong, but he came in as a heel, and he was had a little, I would say, flair with him, but he just got put in that comedy role, and when you put in the comedy role just doing dumb stuff, there's basically no way to recover. There's no way to recover. They released Oksana. She was no good anyway, so who cares? They released a guy named Kurt Hawkins. I have no idea. I had to look up who this guy is.
I don't know who Kurt Hawkins is.
And apparently, Mark Henry tweeted, been with the company 18 years, and but apparently it wasn't in good taste because Kurt Hawkins tweeted back, was like, Mark Henry, you're an idiot when your colleagues just got released today. Well,
maybe he didn't know. Maybe he didn't know who got released, but he was just happy.
I would like this.
He just wasn't one of them.
Kurt Hawkins, not Kurt Hennig, got released. And the question is, who was Kurt Hawkins? Nobody knows who Kurt Hawkins is.
I do.
Who is he?
He was some guy in one of my WWE games. He was tracking with somebody. He was Zack Ryder.
Alright, again, no one knows who he is.
I remember who he was now.
He never had an impact.
Well, he was with, back when Edge had his little group with him and Zack Ryder, he was the other dude.
Again,
after that, but
like I said, who was Kurt Hawkins? So he got released. He didn't like what Mark Henry had to say. Teddy Long.
Why you gotta release Teddy Long, man?
Teddy Long has been with the company for a long time. He was a long-time referee in WCW and in WWE, WWF. And he became a manager, most notably for Harlem Heat. He became a manager in the WWE. Then he was promoted to the SmackDown GM. And for the most part, Teddy did a great job. As far as GM, getting good match. He did have that feud with The Undertaker for a while. But Teddy got released. So, it's sad to see Teddy go. But he wasn't doing anything. So, I mean, why pay a guy
with Vicky?
So. Well, again, if the guy's not doing anything, why, And a lot of people was like, Teddy just comes out and says the same things every week. He never holla, 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 play it. After a while, that just gets played out.
When Booker T was general manager, all he did said a few things. He put Randy Orton like that every week.
Well, again, I'm talking about phrases. But your phrase has to be popular. And they released Camacho. Not that many people know who Camacho is.
I don't know who that is either.
So let's skip over him because we don't know who he is. Then they released, probably the big name is Brodus Clay, the Funkasaurus. Now, I think he was in one of my things where I said, what happened to him?
He was. I think.
Brodus Clay, when he was in NXT, was a heel. He was a bad boy. For a big boy, he reminded me a lot of Bam Bam Bigelow. That was just fast, strong, and can go up the top rope. He came in, and he was a heel. He was, matter of fact, he was somebody's bodyguard for Alberto Del Rio's bodyguard for a minute, and it was working for me. But then he left, and they put him as the Funkasaurus.
Everybody loved the Funkasaurus.
Nobody liked the Funkasaurus.
Yes,
The Funkasaurus was funky, and I said it from the beginning.
They loved.
I said this from the beginning.
I like the Funkasaurus.
No, I said this from the beginning. They're messing him up, having him do any WWE superstar that had a comedy act where he came out and danced, this, that, and the other. Case in point, see Big Show. See Big Show. Big Show came out and he was doing the comedy stuff. What happened to Big Show? Do you even see Big Show on TV that much? Nope. Nope. So Brodus Clay, they put him as the Funkasaurus and everything. The next thing you know, they tried to get him to go heel when he was feuding with Xavier Woods, and you stole my music and you stole my girls, and that just didn't play because, I mean, he played the Funkasaurus too long. What they should have done was come out and have him like, I'm tired of doing this for y'all, and y'all don't appreciate me, and with that way, it may have went over a little bit better than how it ended up. And unfortunately, he got released. I expect him to be in TNA very soon, so look for Brodus Clay to be in TNA, and I think it'll give him a chance to remake himself, because he can keep his name. It'll give him a chance to remake himself, and I think he'll do some damage in TNA. I would definitely like to see him go up against Samoa Joe. That'll be a really good match, so I'm going to be watching TNA just to see when Brodus Clay is going to be in there. They also released Evan Bourne.
You haven't seen Evan Bourne for a while.
Evan Bourne was hurt. He got hurt like maybe over a year ago. So again, he's been on the roster, but again, you're getting paid for not doing anything. And they released Yoshi Tatsu, a good
High five.
cruiserweight, but again, still not doing anything. You'll probably see him in New Japan Wrestling. If you watch New Japan Wrestling, probably him or Jinder Mahal will be over there. So that's the big news that came out of this week in wrestling. And matter of fact, when Raw started, you can tell that Heath Slater wasn't too happy. Wasn't too happy that the three-man band was down to a one-man band. He went back to his old Nexus credo. He's a one-man rock machine or whatever he called himself. And even JBL was like, he's down to a one-man band now. So, which was hilarious. And you can tell he was not feeling it. He was not feeling it. Matter of fact, he had a match with Rusev. Again, when this guy's going to fight somebody really good. I mean, other than Big E, he didn't fight anybody. You know, the crowd got with Heath, but they was really chanting the USA. But they still haven't got a guy that's going to match power for power with Rusev. So what was the first match? On Monday Night Raw.
Seth Rollins versus Dolph Ziggler.
Seth Rollins, it was okay match. It was interrupted by Dean Ambrose. And probably by next Monday, you're going to see Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins one-on-one. And I guarantee you those two probably are going to be in a Money in the Bank match. Not for the title, but for a chance at the title. So look for that. It'll probably be the first or second match.
Alright. Then it was Dean Ambrose versus Bad News Barrett.
Which was a pretty good match. Pretty good match.
I didn't know how Dean was going to do by himself, but you know, he seemed to be handling himself pretty good.
But he still hasn't got over with the crowd.
You sure?
No, yeah. He's not getting any huge pops like Roman Reigns. He's still going with the I'm crazy, Roddy Piper type crazy, and I'll fight you. And he's coming across like a brawler. I don't have a problem with that he's coming across like a brawler. But he's not coming off like he probably should. He needs to do something. He needs to do something. What? I don't know.
Okay, I would just like to point out that Roman Reigns did not come out with him. This could be an indication that the Shield is done now. Could be, because after what's his name, Dean Ambrose beat up Seth Rollins for a bit, and then did Dirty Deeds on Wade Barrett.
And matter of fact,
he had a new song.
Let's talk about, yeah, Dean had a new song, but also Seth betrayed his brothers. But it's still not going over as far as, like, yeah, I can't wait till he get him. I can't wait till he get his hands on him or whatever, or something like that. It's not, and what I mean by that is, see Stone Cold versus Mr. McMahon. Everybody's waiting for Stone Cold to get his hands on Mr. McMahon for weeks and weeks. Mr. McMahon was just like this. Stone Cold was like this close to catching Vince McMahon and getting his hands on him, and he just couldn't get it. So they had a build up to finally when he actually did get his hands on him. I'm not seeing that right now. They're trying to do it, but I'm not really seeing a build up. This is the second week since Seth Rollins left the Shield, but I haven't seen a build up from that as of yet.
Alright, so next was Bray Wyatt versus Sheamus.
I hope they're not going to put these two in a feud. I still think that they needed to continue with the feud with him and John Cena to get Bray Wyatt over a little bit more, because again, now he's losing some of his flair. Because if they start a new feud with him and Sheamus, I don't personally think that it's over between him and Cena.
Well, they haven't really, I mean, besides last week, they haven't really done anything with each other, so it's kind of giving an indication that it's over.
Yeah, and I think that's a bad move. Because you had, again, if you're going to have John Cena go heel, Bray Wyatt would be the guy that makes John Cena finally go heel, because he was getting a lot of fan pop that was singing with him and chanting with him, and people just cheering for Bray Wyatt because they hate John Cena.
And a couple of months ago at Extreme Rules, last month or so, or earlier this month, and when Cena was in the cage, he was like, fans, you turned your back on me and everything like that. Even though they've been doing that all along, he finally admitted it. You know, that kind of gave some indication that he was going heel. It just hasn't happened. They're stretching it out too long.
Yeah, so I wasn't really into this match or whatever. So we'll see probably by SmackDown if Sheamus is fighting whomever, and Bray Wyatt interrupts or Wyatt family interrupts or something like that. If that's the case,
they did have a 6-man tonight on the main event.
Again, we'll see. I hope not.
Alright, then we already talked about Heath Slater and Rusev. Then it was Fandango and Layla versus Summer Rae and Adam Rose. And Kevin Hart was on commentary.
Kevin Hart was a little funny. I'm starting to like Adam Rose a little bit more. I see, again, he still reminds me a lot of Chris Jericho. I like his music. I don't like all the goofy people that come down with him. But he's alright. They need to shoot the rabbit.
It's funny when JBL just be like, this guy's stupid, he needs to get rid of these people, Bunny needs a rabies shot or whatever.
And something was wrong with that dude in the tuxedo. He was just like he was having a seizure coming down the aisle or whatever.
Alright, so then it was the Battle Royal for the remaining spot and the Money in the Bank for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Now, Triple H said at the beginning that 3 people were not going to be in it. The 3 people were Dean Ambrose, Roman Reigns, and John Cena. Obviously because, you know, Triple H doesn't like Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose, why they're not in there. But because Cena, I guess, helped the Shield last week, that's why he wasn't in the Battle Royal. And even if he wasn't going to win.
Who was?
Huh?
Cena.
Cena. If he was in the Battle Royal, he wasn't going to win.
I want to see him.
But, yeah, Roman Reigns found his way into the Battle Royal after the Authority left and left Vicky Guerrero in charge.
She's probably going to get fired next week.
Yeah, she will. Because Brad Maddox got fired when he let the Shield come down to the commentary area. She'll expect to see her get fired. So now we're going to need a new Raw and SmackDown general manager.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so Roman Reigns would end up winning it.
Stop.
Roman Reigns ends up winning it. And by last eliminating Rusev. He was hoping to see a little conversion between Jack Swagger and Rusev, but it didn't happen. So there's that.
Nobody can see so well.
Right.
Then we had the Divas match, Cameron versus Paige. White hairs. We already talked about Goldust and Stardust.
Again, I'm very disappointed.
And then we had
that Cody Rhodes would even accept that thing. But I guess after they just released 7 guys, okay, whatever you want me to do, I'll do it.
And then we had...
Oh, we forgot. Hold on. We forgot Drew McIntyre. I didn't say anything about him. He's another guy.
He was on What Happened.
He was on my What Happened. He came in. A lot of people say he got pushed too fast. I thought the push that he got from Vince McMahon, because he held the title for a long time before he lost, I think it was to Kofi Kingston, right? Mm-hmm. And when he first came in, who had the title that he beat?
I think it was, I don't know who had it, but I know he was in the feud with Matt Hardy.
But
so early as I remember,
I feel bad about him because I think he was a great talent. I think he just
not recent.
No, he was a great talent. After he lost the title, and then they got him into that losing streak, and then he left for a while. Then he came back. And when he came back, they put him with Dumb and B, and it was just down here because he was just nothing but a comedy act. Because here's a guy that was like tough, and I love this. I love this entrance music because it was like that tough music that like, hey, I mean business, but. Now he came out and he's doing all this and stuff like that, and dude, you're just not funny. The hugest pop that they got was when they was over in London, when everybody was actually chanting 3MB, 3MB. So that's my take on McIntyre.
And then finally,
and look for him to be actually in TNA quite soon as well, because they need some wrestlers. So Brodus Clay and McIntyre, maybe even Jinder Mahal, can do some type of thing like, hey, it's an invasion from the guys up north or whatever. They're coming in to try to take over or whatever.
Anyway, so then it was match at the end of the night, main event, Kane versus John Cena in a stretcher match.
You know Stinking Cena was going to be in the daggone match. You knew he was going to be in the match. I don't really have anything to say about it. The match was okay. You knew Cena was going to win or whatever.
But it wasn't because of Bray Wyatt. It was to let you know that their feud is over. It was just to be in it so he can come a champion again.
Because it looks like they're going to have him feud with Triple H. And him bucking up against the Authority. And that whole aspect. Which, nobody wants to see that. Because even when they said, I'm going to give you your chance, John Cena, to be in or whatever. It was... A lot of people really didn't cheer. You had the kids cheer, the ladies cheered, and somebody here saw one grown man cheering for Cena. But other than that, that was about it. So, and did we talk about the Battle Royal?
I said something about it.
Alright, well the Battle Royal, Roman Reigns wins the Battle Royal. They had an opportunity to have Rusev go up against Jack Swagger, but they did not. I thought Kofi Kingston was going to do something spectacular, like jump from the ring to the podium or jump back to the entrance or whatever, or something like that, but that didn't happen. The Battle Royal was okay, except for one thing. They gave Dumb Dallas, Bo Dumb, too much time just to be in, like he's really a contender, and he lasted to like the third or fourth guy before he got put out by Roman Reigns.
He's the third last guy.
But he was laying on the ring in the corner like the whole time. So I didn't like that. The guy doesn't deserve a push. I'm all for guys, but when you have a good gimmick, then you have a good gimmick. But this right here is not a good gimmick. It's just stupid. It's just stupid.
It's time for Lowdown for SmackDown.
So right now he's gonna get the lowdown for SmackDown from Simply Steve.
Okay.
I watched a little bit of it though.
SmackDown gave it a C+ for the whole show. It was alright. So it starts off with the Shield, and you know they're like, they're again talking about.
I thought it wasn't the Shield. I thought it was Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose. That's what you said last week. No, it's not the Shield anymore. It's just Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose. That's it. No, nobody calls them that anymore.
Well, they ain't the Shield.
But you just called them the Shield.
Okay. Well, Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns, because now they're officially not the Shield anymore because they're not together.
They're a new tag team called Dean Reigns.
No, they're not. They're on their own. Dean Ambrose got his own song and everything. He's on his own now. So Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns were out talking about Seth Rollins again and how much they want to fight, whatever like that. Triple H comes on and he's like, you know,
only Dean wants to fight him. Roman Reigns is like, I don't care.
Yeah. And Triple H is like, you know, one of y'all will get an opportunity to be in the Money in the Bank match.
Under my truck. The net.
He's like, one of y'all will get an opportunity to be in the Money in the Bank match, and it was Dean versus Bray Wyatt for the night. And that was it. Then Roman Reigns and versus Bad News Barrett, and he won by disqualification after 3MB came out and beat him down. But, you know, of course, Roman Reigns came around and beat him.
That was the last of 3MB. I'm not supposed to say 3 men bye-bye.
Alright, so Luke Harper beat Jey Uso in like a minute.
They're gonna win the tag team titles. They're fighting that Money in the Bank. We're gonna have a new tag team champions. And their match.
I'm gonna say maybe by disqualification or maybe just hold on by slip.
No, they dominated the Usos.
It's been back and forth. It's been back and forth.
No, they've dominated the Usos. So look for a new champion. You heard it here first.
All right, then Bo Dallas beat R-Truth.
Bull crap, but okay.
Cesaro beat Sheamus by a small package.
It was a really good match. I think that was my match of the night.
My match of the night, I gave it a B.
I don't really have a match of the night on Raw, but SmackDown, that was my match of the night.
Iron Rose beat Fandango.
Again, that's going to be the new Santino, Fandango. Matter of fact, you saw what was funny on Raw. The people in the audience was doing their Adam Rose chant, and you know, Fandango turned around and was like, wait a minute, what happened to this? Basically, so to say. So it was funny that, you know, he's like, hey, you guys used to chant me, and now, so that goes to show that, hey, when you're riding a wave, at any minute, it can go flat.
Well, he didn't get hurt. They just stopped caring.
It was started by London, and it was all over the media. This is how big it was. It got into mainstream media, meaning that CNN was talking about it.
So did ESPN.
ESPN was talking about it. So people everywhere was doing the Fandango. So that's how big it was. Just like the Yes chant. When it leaves the wrestling world and goes out into the real world, that's how big it was. I think Fandango's probably due for a title shot somewhat, and he would probably get his flavor back.
He'll probably be in the Money in the Bank.
I don't really like the whole his girlfriends are feuding, whatever. That can just go, whatever.
Big E beat Jack Swagger, and then what do you call it? Lana came out, so I don't know if they're still trying to continue Big E and Rusev.
And Zed shoot her off.
He did,
and so you need to get Zed to say something about it.
Oh yeah,
and
he wants to come out and talk about people who need to be deported and go back to their own country. He ain't say nothing about Rusev yet. So I guess that shows you that they're just waiting. I guess it shows that they're waiting. Anyway, and then Bray Wyatt beat Dean Ambrose, which I also gave it a B. It was good. It was pretty good. As I said, I don't know how Dean Ambrose will do as a singles competitor, but so far he's off to a pretty good start. He pretty much had the match won.
Who?
Dean Ambrose. He had hit his move Dirty Deeds on Bray Wyatt. He most likely was going to go in Money in the Bank match until he saw Seth Rollins and stupidly chased after him, allowing Bray Wyatt to hit the Sister Abigail in the match. So that was SmackDown.
So yeah, SmackDown, Raw wasn't really good. It was like it was like Game of Thrones for me. You waited and you waited and you just knew something was gonna happen. And I mean, Tywin Lannister got killed. The Hound supposedly got killed. I think that's about it. it was just your typical wrestling. I didn't see any TNA or anything like that. We talked about the wrestling move. Money in the Bank is coming up in 2 weeks. We'll see. Daniel Bryan is out. He's probably going to do back, I say, maybe August, September. Neck injury is a serious thing. So,
hey, Cena did have a neck injury too.
And
he was out
for like the 5th week in a row since WrestleMania. You keep having CM Punk chants. So obviously, CM Punk, people think that Punk is, he's coming. Punk ain't retired.
That's what he said.
I've been following Punk on Twitter, and he's always retweeting something that a WWE superstar said, or he's talking or something like that. So he's always retweeting something like that. I think he's like kind of like the Undertaker right now. I mean, think about it. These guys,
he's only been WWE for about 6 or 7 years.
They go like out of 365 days, they go like 340 days that they're working or on the road. So that gives them maybe about a month at home out of 12 months. And after a while, yeah, those that say wrestling's fake, if you look at Roman Reigns back a couple weeks back from those chair shots,
oh yeah, I saw it on Instagram.
That crap is real to that point. Jumping off the top rope, hitting each other with leg drops and hitting each other with chairs. That's the realness of it. And you know, look at Daniel Bryan. He is hurt. So
some people at first, you know, they thought that, you know, CM Punk leaving is just storyline, and then he'll just come back at SummerSlam. But he could be just really gone.
I am a believer that he will come back. Matter of fact, here's the thing. When Stone Cold retired, The Rock left. It left John Cena. It left Shawn Michaels. It left Triple H. And it left The Undertaker. Triple H, Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, the remaining guys, and Batista from the Attitude Era. And when The Rock and Stone Cold left, unfortunately, wrestling was up here. It went down. Cena brought it up a little bit because the kids love Cena. Gotta admit that the kids love Cena.
They need somebody to look up to. Cena's their guy.
So the kids love Cena, but even with Cena, it didn't bring it back to where you're talking about, like in the Attitude Era, people were talking about, hey, did you see what happened on Raw last night? See what happened on SmackDown? And saw what happened on Nitro or whatever. They're not doing that since those two guys left. Daniel Bryan's out right now, and again, they need CM Punk. That's basically where I'm going. Because CM Punk had that flair. I love his pipe bombs or whatever, and pretty much for the most part, he was telling the truth, especially all the stuff he said about Cena. But ever since Punk left, nobody has rose to the occasion to take his spot.
And the crazy thing is, not long after he left, their top guy, Daniel Bryan, he gets hurt now.
So DB's hurt, which again, the yeses were getting lesser.
They did do the yes and yes, but that's
again,
that's only for the mention of his name.
It was getting less, and again, if you can't ride that wave for only so long, so again, in that case, nobody was really paying attention to it. So you need CM Punk. He's like that main eventer who can be a second main event, who can be a third main event. I mean, you want to see him in Orton, you want to see him in Cena, you want to see him and Daniel Bryan go at it, you want to see him and Roman Reigns go at it or whatever. Keep him as a heel, keep him as a face, but the bottom line is you need CM Punk.
His contract's up in July. WWE, or rather Vince, is thinking about they can automatically just renew somebody's contract. They're thinking about doing that just to make sure CM Punk doesn't go anywhere else.
You can't do that.
They're thinking about it, and there's some. I read some way they're able to do that. I forgot how it was, but they're able to do that.
You can't renew a guy's contract.
They can.
No, you cannot. You get it even in professional sports. You can't. If a guy wants to leave, he can leave. You have a no compete clause. Like right now, he can't. Like if there was WCW, he can't compete until his official contract is over. But they don't have the option unless they put it in there where we can renew it just in case. No, because you still, unless he's getting paid.
He is getting paid.
So unless he's getting paid for doing nothing, WWE's not stupid to do that because
he's getting paid. He ain't doing nothing.
That's the Undertaker. He got 20 years in doing that, so he can do that. But CM Punk, I mean, I'm sorry. Even if CM Punk went to TNA, yeah, you would have some fan fare to go there, and you know their pay-per-views would probably go up, but it ain't gonna go up by that much. I mean, I watched TNA a couple weeks ago. Again, it is boring because they talk too much versus wrestling. So they need Punk. And whatever you got to do to get him back, go apologize, kiss his behind, wash his feet, wipe his butt, whatever. Whatever you got to do to get Punk back, get him back. I would, matter of fact, like to see him and John Cena go at it one more time.
Wow, CM Punk had the edge over John Cena to the bout last year.
Yeah, of course, because of Cena. Because of Cena. Because again,
I against the Rock.
I read the thing where whoever Cena was going against, and Cena didn't want to do the job to him, and therefore they was like, yeah, it'll get him over, but he didn't want to do the job. So John Cena still has that clout at the company as far as who he wants to, again, if you want to get Bray Wyatt over, then how come he won't do the job to Bray Wyatt? He did it. He didn't get a clean pin at the little girl, whatever. So I mean, it's always something, whatever.
I think it made in his mind he may need a little bit more pushing, but he got Bray Wyatt over. Fans were supporting him.
But again, it's over.
Sticking the whole world in his hands.
It's
doing a flashlight.
Though. If it's over, then what's the point of doing that? If it's over, it's over. What do you guys think?
What
John Cena and Bray Wyatt. He's a Cena fan.
You don't have to. You always tell everybody that. They know now.
I like his shirt. See me.
Okay. Oh yeah. This whole thing about him not liking John Cena because he comes out and help people. I understand that because he's getting in people because he's using other people to help him push himself up. I understand that. But how many times has he said on this show that whether if people boo you or whether people cheer you, that's what's best for business.
It is. John
Cena getting both, he's best for business.
He may still be best for business, but again, if you look at the top guys, and I throw Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair, Stone Cold, The Rock, Edge, Sting, Dusty Rhodes, all these guys, they didn't do what Cena did. They did it maybe like a couple times throughout their career, but they didn't come out and try. Again, John Cena ain't getting nobody over. I mean, he's just trying to steal that thunder. Because if that's the case, how come he not getting Zack Ryder over now? Hey, what about Zack Ryder? I choose Zack Ryder to be in my corner. How come he not doing that now? When Zack Ryder created his own hype with his online social media thing, and he had his social media belt and everything, and he created his whole own hype that they started talking about, and then he got his title shot. Again, where was John Cena? John Cena came out, Zack Ryder, yes, give him a shot, yes.
He didn't say that thing with him and Kane messed up his career. Because him getting hurt and Cena and that whole love triangle thing with him and Eve. Whatever.
So again, my point is, whenever a guy's on the road, on the high, John Cena has to come out to appear that he's getting them over with the fans. Well, first of all, he's already over with the fans. The guy has a shot to either keep that wave going or let it fall flat. When Cena gets involved with it, it always falls flat. Look at Zack Ryder. Look at Ryback.
Okay, that was like he gave him his title shot. Like he could have used.
No, but my point is, whenever John Cena gets involved with a guy, they always fail because you getting Cena involved.
Okay, the WWE turned Ryback heel, which messed up his career because they were pushing Ryback.
No, they pushed Ryback. He had like 6 title shots and lost all 6, and didn't get a title yet. Cena came out, but when he slammed Cena, that was, and then all of a sudden he just became a little punk or whatever. But again, Cena got involved with it. What happened to Ryback? Come on.
Well, so far he got involved with Bray Wyatt. And
So your argument is null and void. It may be best for business,
I
but
didn't say you had to like it.
it's not best for what the WWE likes. I guarantee you, if Cena left, nobody would really care. If he left, nobody wouldn't really care. Because when he got hurt last year, who cared? Nobody wasn't chanting Cena.
Okay, they weren't chanting Cena.
Nobody was
But
like, I can't wait to Cena come back. He comes back and then gets a shot against Alberto and wins the title.
Yeah.
As soon as he stepped on stage, boo, here it is guy again. And he automatically gets a shot at the title.
I heard, I don't know, maybe it was women, I guess women and kids, but whenever Cena got hurt, and that matter of fact, yeah, when Vicky said that you're gonna face Cena, people started cheering and they were building up hype for the match, and Cena came back, everyone was cheering for him, he won.
No, nobody was cheering. Guys like him was cheering. If you get him to scream, he has a soprano. He got a high-pitched voice. So it looks like there's a lot of people, but no, it's just one kid screaming. A bunch of kids screaming, yeah, 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 yeah.
Nita.
Whatever.
Cena.
Daddy, let's
Everyone can't be the top guy.
me.
That's what I'm saying.
Daddy, let's just keep tongue at me.
So,
Everyone can't be the top guy.
anything you want to say?
Me? My match tonight was the Battle Royal.
You didn't know. Nobody can see you.
My match tonight was Battle Royal.
What's the Battle Royal?
Yeah, the Battle Royal match.
Why was that the match of the night for you?
It had a lot of action in it.
And who was you rooting for?
Roman Reigns.
So you're a Roman Reigns fan now?
Yeah.
Okay, I like Roman Reigns.
Powerhouse.
What's your match of the night?
On Raw or SmackDown?
Doesn't matter.
Okay, I will talk about SmackDown was D-Devil versus Bray Wyatt. Raw was the Battle Royal because I was rooting for
Rusev?
Big E.
Bo Dallas?
You rooting for Big E.
Yeah, I was rooting for Roman or Big E. And I was not rooting for Bo Dallas. I was hoping that he lost.
And he was hoping to go down with the first one out.
Me too.
Exactly. So, that's it right now. We done for this week. Check us out next Tuesday. We'll talk about wrestling. So for Stephen J, Simply Steve, Elisha, and Elijah, and Sarai, we're talking about wrestling, and we out. Peace.
Peace.
Casino still sucks.